Welcome to the In Love with PMDD podcast. I am your host, Dr. Rose Alcaton, your PMDD relationship psychotraumatologist. I help you stop the monthly PMDD breakups. I have personally been suffering with PMDD for over 19 years, and I published my dissertation directly towards the relationship experiences of partners of individuals who are suffering with PMDD. So although I have premenstrual dysphoric disorder, which is an approximately 1 in 20 women, makes you want to break up with your partner every single month right before your period, I also provide services and counseling services and programs specifically designed for partners for what they are going through with being in a relationship with someone who struggles with PMDD. There are so many aspects that affect PMDD relationships, whether it's PMDD rage, whether it's intrusive thoughts, whether it's just you not getting your needs met in your PMDD relationship and feeling like breaking up is your only option. I am here every single week to give you my signature trauma transformational tools that are going to help you and your PMDD partner to get through all of the stress that is going on in your PMDD relationship. And if this is something that you know that you need help with, then you need to join the PMDD Power Couples Group Counseling Membership. This is when we meet every single week. We go over what is specifically going on in your PMDD relationship, and you'll get a chance to get my customized PMDD counseling transformational tools. And then also, if you need a private session for you and your partner, you can go to inlovewithpmdd.com and get those PMDD relationship reset sessions. This is where I have private sessions with you every single week, every single month. We're checking in, we're mapping out your PMDD relationship. So let's get into today's episode. Today, I want to talk to you about the Let Them theory, which is one of the books that is widely spread. It is New York Times bestseller by Mel Robbins. And when I was going through my dating journey, this is one of the things that I came across because the algorithm will literally bring you anything that you're thinking in your mind. And I really wanted to tailor this to PMDD relationships because it really helped me when I was in my journey of dating, and having premenstrual dysphoric disorder. And the Let Them theory basically is a viral piece of reflective writing that encourages you to let go of the controls of how other people treat you. And this was really big for me because what you're supposed to do is instead focus on your own peace, your own self-worth, your own alignment, and of course, your own self-love and all of the things that I know that it can really be taboo when you're just like, just love yourself. But a lot of times what other people have done to me or what they were doing to me was really impacting how I was living my life, how I was feeling about myself. And I was finding myself stuck because I would be doing all of this work. I would be doing all of this reflection. I would be doing all of these things and relationships and my PMDD and like evolving. But what you can't do is control the other person. You can only control yourself. And so you kind of get to this brick road, like this block where you're like, I can only control what I'm doing, but I cannot control what they're doing. And you can convince them and you can show them the way. It's kind of like that phrase where you can like lead a horse to water, but you can't force them to drink. And that's where I felt like I was at in so many of my PMDD relationships where I knew the tools. And I think it's when you start to work on yourself and when you start to recognize your patterns and what's going on in the relationship and things that you know that your partner needs to do, and you're like, hey, you need to do this, or this would really help you, or this would really help us. Like if you would just get on board with this, then we would be good. And you get to the point where you're like, I can't make them. I cannot make them do the things that I know would actually benefit our relationships. I've had a lot of private clients tell that to me where they're saying, hey, we need to have these private sessions. And so we get on these sessions one-on-one and we get to a point and it's like, okay, let's integrate this all together. I have this amazing package called the PMDD Relationship Pyramid Package. And what it is it's one session with you as the individual that's suffering with PMDD, one session with the partner, and then I have one together. And we customize all of the tools that I've used with the both of you, and we put them together and we make a plan. And that's one of my most popular packages. And I remember there was a lot of frustration with a couple of my clients because their partner wouldn't come. So like they would buy the package and be willing to come on the sessions, but their partner wouldn't come. And they would feel so discouraged and like kind of like at this roadblock where it's like, I can only do what I can do. I can't make my partner come to these sessions. And they would feel discouraged for all of the progress that they made. And I remember saying to them on one of our sessions, like, if they don't want to come to the session, like, let them. Let them not come to the session. I don't want you to lose sight of the progress that you're making in trying to manage your PMDD symptoms and to control what's coming up for you when you're in your luteal phase and to make sure things are good in your relationship. I don't want you to discredit that because your partner is not showing up in the way that you feel like they should show up. Because what it does, it erases your progress. So that's when I began to say like, oh my gosh, when I was reading this book for my own personal development, because I read a book every single month, at least one. I try to do more than one, like maybe two. I try to read one book and then do Audible with one book. And the Let Them Theory, because I love Mel Robbins, she's amazing, came out and I was like, oh, I'm gonna listen to hers. And I was listening to it and it really influenced what I told my client that day because they were stressing and they were like, they were actually asking me, like, hey, you need to email them and tell them they need to come on the session and tell them they need to do this and tell them they need to do that. And I literally said, without even thinking about it, I said, if they don't want to come on the session, let them not come on the session. You're making so much progress. And I don't want you to feel like their lack of effort is a reflection of your effort, if that makes sense. Meaning, I don't want you to feel like because they're not coming on the sessions that you're not making any progress, that you're not doing any work, because of what I had to do was remind them of where they started and where they currently were. And you cannot wait for someone to be ready. And it doesn't mean, again, I'm always saying it doesn't mean you have to break up with them. It doesn't mean you don't need to be with them. It doesn't mean that they're toxic, that they're manipulative, that they're a narcissist. I'm not giving you permission to break up with your partner because they're not willing to do the work in order to stay in the relationship. What I'm saying is it took you a while to get to that point where you're saying, hey, I need help. Think about it. Think about it. When you're saying to yourself, when you finally come to me and you're like, hey, I need sessions for my PMDD relationship or my PMDD, you've been listening to me for months, for years, some of you. And then you're like, okay, I finally know it's time. And I know that you're the one that really understands me, like you get me, but it took you a while. So if your partner's not there yet, they're not there yet. So you have to get into that realm of being like, let them. I'm going to continue on my journey. I don't want you to stop being on your journey just because it's not like aligned with where your partner is. You can't make them be into that place. What I will tell you is that pain will get you to that place. A lot of the clients that have come to me have been when they're in crisis, when they're in pain, when their partner is about to leave them, when they're about to lose their family, when they're feeling like I've done everything that I can do and I'm seeing the same cycle of the same issues that we're having them again and again and again, because like I said, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And so when they get to that point, then they're like, oh, I think I'm ready to have sessions. That's fine. There's no judgment because I know for me, even with me making any big decisions in my PMDD relationships, I have had to get to a point where I was in enough pain where I said, enough is enough. I can't do this the same way. I can't go another month like this. That's the good thing about premenstrual dysphoric disorder is that it's cyclical. Meaning whatever you're going through this month, if you haven't dealt with it, if you haven't processed it, if you haven't put tools in place, you're guaranteed to go through the same thing the next month. So you don't have to think and predict. And I wonder what next month is going to be like. Next month is going to be like this month, unless you do something about it. If this month doesn't feel good for you, then you need to be doing something about it. One of the biggest compliments that I got from a couple clients this last month, where I've been limiting my private clients. I've only been taking 5 private clients, couples individually or coupled per month because we've been having multiple sessions, intensives. And she literally emailed me and she's like, Dr. Rose, this is the first month that I've known that I had PMDD in my luteal phase, and we did not have a fight. We did not have an argument. meaning my symptoms were not impacted. My symptoms were not worse. And I just want to thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to future sessions. And that for me was the biggest compliment because that's the goal. The goal is not for everything to go perfect where things don't come up. The goal is for when things come up, you have the tools to do something about it. And you're like, this is what PMDD is bringing up. This is the tool that Dr. Rose gave us. Let's use the tool and then we're good. And that for me, I was like, and I didn't even ask for the feedback. And if you're my client and you sent me that email, thank you so much. You know who you are. But I didn't even ask for that feedback. But that is literally the goal. If I still have premenstrual dysphoric disorder, I will always tell you, I'm not here to cure your PMDD. If you're looking for someone to say, this is the magic pill to take, this is what you need to do in your PMDD relationships and never have it ever again, unfortunately, I'm not your doctor because I still suffer with premenstrual dysphoric disorder every single month. But I will absolutely give you the tools of what you can do when a lot of these issues come up. And that's the gift in it. And so when I was listening to my client say all of these things, that she was so frustrated, not for what her progress was, not for where she was, but for where her partner was. And here's one thing I want to tell you, and I'm going to get really personal here. I feel like I always do, is that I had to deal with a lot of detachment in dating when it came to premenstrual dysphoric disorder relationships. When it came to having relationships and having PMDD, I had to detach because I would get so attached to what my partner is doing. I do believe and I don't know if it's because of my profession as a doctor, as a counselor. Before that, I was a coach, of being like a fixer. Like I'm a very solution oriented person. And so if an issue comes up, I'm normally like, okay, this is what we need to do. And da 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 da. And there's some things that you cannot, I'm going to create a word here. You cannot solutionize. And what I mean is you cannot make a solution for something that, one of my mentors says, you can't give medicine to people that like to stay sick. And meaning there's some benefit that they're getting out of being in that place of being sick. There's some level of attention. There's some level of validation. There's some level of identity where they're not wanting to get out of it. And I've dealt with this so many times with private clients where I've given them the tools and I'm like, this is what you need to do. And every tool was met with an excuse. Oh, Dr. Rose, I can't do this because of this. Oh, we tried this already. Oh, we did this. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like you came here, you hired me. I'm giving you solutions and you're continuously telling me why it's not going to work, why you're going to stay in the situation that you're in. And there was this like forcefulness with it. And I was just like, well, then what are we doing? If you genuinely feel like there's no hope, if you genuinely feel like there's no way out of this, you don't want to break up, you can't stay where you are in the relationship, then what are we doing? And that's when I had to do that in business, where I was just like, okay, well, if the client does not want to take the advice, if they don't want to use the tools, if they don't want to do the work, if they want to just tell me how horrible their PMDD is and that's it, then I have to just let them. And that's when I started to use the let them theory in business for my private clients, because I want this so much for you, because I see the transformation with a lot of my clients, but I can't make you believe it. And part of the transformation, like part of you getting to the place where you have months in luteal, where you're not having fights, where you're not having arguments, where you're not having monthly breakups, is believing that it's possible. But what I noticed, and I was so frustrated with this, I'm like, I can't make them believe, but without that belief, then it doesn't work. My tools do not work if you do not have the belief that they work. Meaning by the time you come to me and you're investing in working with me, you need to be in a place where you have, even just like the Bible says, like a mustard seed level of faith of like, I believe that this could work. But if you're going to consistently tell me all the reasons why it doesn't work, then it's a self-fulfilled prophecy. I always say this, words have power. So if all you're going to do on a session with me is tell me why it doesn't work, okay, I just have to let you. I have to let you sit there and tell me all the reasons why you've been to different counselors, you've been to different therapists, you've done talk therapy, which I already told you doesn't work for PMDD relationships, and you've done this. And so when I say something that's remotely similar, you're like, oh, Dr. Rose, yeah, I can't do that. That's not going to work. And I'm like, well, you haven't tried it. And a lot of the tools that I give you are based off of your cycle. So therefore, I need to see you at different phases in your cycle in order to tweak it. Like you don't go to the gym if you're overweight and say, I need to be fit by next week and be like, oh, that's not going to work because I've already had a protein shake. Or that's not going to work because I've already done cardio or I've already lifted a weight. It's like you have to give it a chance. And so what the let them theory was allowing me to do from a business aspect, and then I'll get into the relationship aspect, was just, I can't, not forcing you to do the things that I know would help you. And I feel like because I have premenstrual dysphoric disorder, there was this level of urgency of being like, no, you need to do this because I know that this is going to help you. And it was literally hurting me to see people dismiss things that I knew would help them. But because it was maybe similar to what they had gone through before, or they just genuinely didn't believe it was going to get better, that they just refused to do it. And so I had, me personally, in order to keep going with my business, I had to develop the let them theory. And then when I got into dating, I had to develop the let them theory. You know, one of the things about dating that was so hard for me was that I just didn't understand the motive behind it. Like, I didn't understand, like, what are they getting out of this? One of the things, like, if someone would ghost me, for example, I would be like, well, what was the purpose of, I'll be like, what was the purpose of investing all of that time and energy and taking me on dates and getting to know me and having me tell my story? Like, what was the purpose of doing all that if you weren't going to, like, still be with me or want to be with me or even be a friend? Like, I didn't understand because I would never invest my time. My time is so valuable that I wouldn't invest my time in something unless I was getting something out of it. And so I would be like, why? I kept wanting to know why. And that was the part that was keeping me stuck in a lot of my PMDD dating experiences. I was like, but why would they do that? And when I developed the let them theory, it was just like, it doesn't matter why, just let them. And so I'm going to give you the poem. I'm going to do something amazing here. And you're going to want to like listen to this, share this with anyone that you know has PMDD or is in a PMDD relationship. Share it on your newsfeed. If you share this on your social media, please tag me. Please tell me how this has impacted you. Please tell me how this episode has helped you, because I know that this revelation has helped so many of my private clients. And I want you to just keep this going because it's going to help so many individuals that are dealing with premenstrual dysphoric disorder relationships. And I want you to share this with them as a way of giving back. I remember a time where I didn't have anybody that was talking about PMDD. I didn't have anybody that was talking about PMDD relationships. And I was on this like journey of like, I had a client tell me this last week, you're literally the only one that I know that's doing what you're doing. That is literally counseling specifically for PMDD relationships, not just for PMDD and supplements and all of these things, but PMDD relationships and really dealing with the core of what happens, which is the PMDD monthly breakups and the stress that goes on that causes you to feel like breaking up is your only option. And I appreciated that level of like, yeah, I am. And I will never stop doing this because I know how much it impacts, because I know how much it's impacted me. So I have this personal experience, but please share this because I'm going to go over this poem right now. And then I'm going to go over the poem that I strategically made for PMDD relationships that is reflective of the let them theory. And so what Mel Robbins did was she created this poem, and it's based off of someone earlier. So a lot of people think that it was originally from her, but she just remade, which a lot of individuals do, this let them theory that really she took the theory and applied it to what goes on in present day. And so she says, and drum roll, please, let's go. If they want to leave, let them. If they choose someone else, let them. If they ghost you, let them. If they do not see your value, let them. If they don't show up, let them. If they stop reaching out, let them. If they don't love you, let them. And why? Because when you let them, you create space for something better, someone better, someone aligned, someone who sees you, someone who chooses you, someone who shows up and loves you back. So the let them theory is not about giving up and saying, just let them. I'm not going to get what it is that I desire and deserve. It's about giving into what's real. It's about this radical acceptance of what is really going on in your life. It is surrendering control of things that you have no control over, which is other people. It is about protecting your peace. It is about choosing you. And when you, and this is me speaking, when you get to the point where you're saying let them, you're taking the power out of other individuals' hands of controlling how you feel, what things should be like in your relationship, in your life. And you're really letting people be who they are. And then you choosing what it is that you want to accept. If I tell you to do something, if I ask you to do something, if I beg you to do something, if I nag you to do something, and then you do it, it's not because the individual wanted to do it. It's because of the ask. But if I just let you do what it is that you naturally do, then I know that the actions that you're showing me is a result of what is authentic in you. It is about what you genuinely want to do. And so I want to give you a couple of theories when it comes to the let them theory, when it comes to PMDD, because I know it's a lot of trying to control other people, trying to control what happens as far as how they view PMDD, how your partner, views the relationship. And the biggest thing for me is the PMDD monthly breakups. So here we go. This is the PMDD let them theory for monthly breakups, right? If they break up with you every month, let them. If they say hurtful things and blame it on PMDD, let them. If they can sit in the storm without running, let them. If they treat your suffering as an inconvenience, let them. If they love the version of you that is in your follicular days, but not your luteal phase, let them. If they refuse to learn about PMDD or grow with you, let them. Let them leave. Let them threaten you. Let them pull away every single time it gets hard. But when you let them, you stop fighting to hold on to what keeps breaking you when you're in PMDD. You stop shrinking just to keep your PMDD partner comfortable. You stop trying to prove that you're worthy of staying with. Premenstrual dysphoric disorder is not an excuse, but it's also not a curse. And the right partner will know the difference. The right partner will learn your cycle. The right partner will soften you when the PMDD storms arise. They won't take your survival mode personally. They won't weaponize your system, your symptoms. Let them go. The ones who confuse your pain and the way that you act during your symptoms of pain with being unlovable, let them go. The one who ghosts you during your darkest days in your luteal phase, let them go. And they only return when the light is back on during your follicular phase. Let them go. You deserve a PMDD partner and a love that stays. A PMDD partner that regulates your emotions, not retaliates. A love that says it won't leave just because it's hard today in PMDD. Let them break up if they need to. and let yourself break free of that cycle of PMDD monthly breakups, because your nervous system deserves safety. It deserves stability. It deserves consistency. And you deserve a partner who doesn't just stay, but truly sees you, hears you, validates you. And this is, the poem is ended, but what I really want you to understand from this is I don't want you to sell yourself short because you have premenstrual dysphoric disorder. I don't want you to sell yourself short because you're in a relationship with someone who has PMDD. This is for both partners. This is for the partner that has PMDD and the partner that doesn't. And so the next part is a lot of things with the blaming and shaming and criticism. Oh my goodness. This is for every PMDD partner and PMDD sufferer who's ever been told you're too much, you're overreacting, it's just your PMDD, it's not me, you're already carrying enough. So today, this one is gonna help you let go of the blame and the shame and criticism, which are the three things that are the most damaging to PMDD relationships. If they blame every PMDD argument on PMDD, let them. If they say you're just being crazy again, let them. If they twist your pain into a personal flaw, let them. If they use your PMDD to discredit the truth of what's really going on in your relationship, let them. If they shame your sensitivity, your tears, your rage, let them. If they only want the easy version of you in your follicular phase and criticize the parts of the struggle in your luteal phase, let them. Let them say it's just an excuse. Let them roll their eyes at your PMDD symptoms. Let them ignore the research, the reality, the repeated PMDD monthly fights, because when you let them, you step out of the cycle where you explain yourself to someone who is not listening anyway. You stop giving your energy to someone who's more invested in being right in their ego than being with you. You are not the blame for every breakdown in your PMDD relationship. You are not the cause of every conflict and every fight and every blow up. You are not shameful for feeling deeply during the hardest parts of your cycle during your luteal phase that you didn't ask for. And if your partner makes you feel like you are, it is not your safe place. So let your partner criticize you. Let them stay small in their understanding and not try to understand PMDD anymore. Let them believe what they want to believe. And then you go somewhere where your PMDD symptoms are not weaponized, where your moods are met with compassion, with empathy, not control, where your pain is witnessed and seen and not used against you. Because PMDD is not your fight. It's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to manage. And your love and your relationship isn't meant for you to feel like this. So let them project everything that happens in PMDD onto you. Let them punish you, let them misunderstand you, and then let yourself heal in peace. And what I mean by that is you are releasing the control over what happens in your luteal phase and what happens in your PMDD relationship. You're releasing it. You're not saying that in order for me to feel healed, my partner has to show up this way or my partner has to do this. No, it doesn't matter what your partner does moving forward. It matters on your journey with premenstrual dysphoric disorder. And if this spoke to you, if you're hearing this and you're saying, I would love to be in this place of feeling like I can just let them. It would feel so good to be free of needing their approval, of needing their acceptance, of needing to feel seen and heard and validated by my partner in order for me to be okay. Again, this is for the partner that has PMDD and the partner who doesn't. If you don't have PMDD, but you consistently are trying to tell your partner, hey, a lot of the issues that we're having is because of PMDD and they don't want to believe it, let them. Because they've heard you. They've seen you suffer because of this. If they were going to believe it, they would have done it by now. You continuously telling them, draining yourself and letting them know, hey, PMDD is a problem. We need to do this. And we need to, if they're not ready, they're not ready. You need to decide what's best for you. And you may say, oh, this is very selfish. You don't really understand what's going on in our relationship. You don't understand how many things are going to be impacted. I understand that suicidal ideations happen with individuals who have PMDD and individuals who do not. And that is how serious that I take this let them theory. This is how serious that I take any of my private clients that are coming to me and saying, I don't have any hope in my PMDD relationship. I don't know what to do about this. I've seen lives be destroyed and ended because of things that are going on in your PMDD relationship. So why are you continuously allowing yourself to drive yourself crazy once you've already explained yourself? You've already told them, this is what I need you to do. Now, if you haven't gotten to that point and you haven't expressed what it is that you need in your PMDD relationship, and that's something that you need help with, then yes, get the private sessions and let's do that together if that's something that you feel like you need assistance with. But if you've told your partner what it is that you need, I need you to be more supportive. I need you to be more understanding. I need you to get help in this area, and they're not doing it, let them. Stop begging them to do something that they're probably never going to do, because you're going to drive yourself crazy doing that. And they're going to be living their life. PMDD doesn't make you too much. It doesn't make you a burden. It makes you someone who deserves to be deeply understood. You know, individuals with PMDD have partners with so many different disorders: anxiety, depression, ADHD, insomnia, PTSD, all of these things. And I tell you both the same things. When you're deciding to be connected to one another, you're taking on what it is that they're going through, and you're supposed to do it in a way of with compassion. So I want you to stay rooted in who you are and the journey that you're on, and stop trying to control what your partner is doing. Whatever it is that they're doing, as long as they're very knowledgeable about the things that you're desiring and you deserve, and you've been very communicative and you told them once, that's it. Let them. If they're making a conscious choice to not do the things that you know that you need done in the relationship, let them. That's it. No amount of repeating yourself is going to cause them to do it. No amount of nagging, no amount of playing games, no amount of pulling back, nothing that you can do once they know what it is that you need. If they're not doing it, they're not going to do it. And you just have to let them. And then once you let them, then you let yourself decide what it is that you desire and deserve. And I'm not going to tell you that for you. But once you take the focus off of them and you put it on yourself and really recognize, what do I desire? What do I deserve in this relationship? What can I handle? And then you make those decisions accordingly. That's the only thing that you can control. So when you have this level of anxiety, and I know how it's easier said than done, but when you have this level of anxiety of, I just need them to do this, I just need them to do that, give yourself what it is that you're asking them to give you. If they're not willing to give it to you, if you're not feeling loved, if you're not feeling seen, if you're not feeling heard, if you're not feeling validated in your relationship, and that's something that you know that you need, then I want you to start doing the work to, okay, what can I do? Because you're the only one that you can control. So what can I do to make myself feel like this? Your partner is not responsible for the way that you feel. And I know that this is a common misconception that when you're in a relationship, your partner is required to do all the things that make you feel good. If they're not wanting to do it, let them not do it. And then it frees you up to do the things that you can do to make yourself feel better. But it's the discovery process is, number one, what is it that I need to feel in order to feel safe and secure and calm so that my premenstrual dysphoric disorder symptoms are the lowest? Safe and secure and calm. What can I do? And focus on that. Because when you start to go on that journey of really focusing on yourself, you'll be surprised When you take the pressure off of your partner and you put it on yourself, again, the partner that has PMDD and the partner that doesn't. If you don't have PMDD and you notice that your mental health is struggling because you're drowning with trying to keep this PMDD relationship together, put the focus back on you. What is it that I need to do? And take a stance and create those boundaries and say, I mean, they're already not doing what it is that you want them to do, but so you might as well create the boundaries and say, hey, this is what I need. And I'm going to do it because I need to be healthy. I need to live and not feel like I'm drowning and I'm holding on by a pinky thread. You know what I mean? Like I'm holding on and I'm not getting anything in return. Everybody needs to be like replenished at some point. So I want you to really think about that right now. Just pick one thing. When it comes to this let them theory, with everything that you've heard, and I know a lot of you take notes on these episodes, when it comes to the let them theory, what do you need to let happen with the let them theory in your life, in your PMDD relationship? And then go towards doing that. Until next time, we got this. I love you. I hope these tools help you and your PMDD partner. If you have not enrolled to get the course, My Partner Has PMDD, now what? Then you want to make sure that you are one of the first 12 individuals that gets the course for the month of December to get that complimentary private session with me. And then after that, it'll go back to regular price without the private sessions. But what this course is going to do for you is give your partner all of the tools that they need on how to be a supportive PMDD partner. What does that look like? I always say that your partner doesn't need more information. They need more implementation. They need more transformational tools. And this is the program for you. So I'm looking forward to you getting those tools in the program. And until next episode, we got this.